some of them are threats. What message do you have for the people you're trying to prepare for the elections?
Thank you. Because we're in a journalism setting and facts are important, let me start by correcting the spelling of my name in the program. It's Rachel, and my surname is Mugarura-Mutana. Mugarura-Mutana. So, because we are journalism, they all get names right.
Sure.
So,
Mine too is mine too.
So that as most headlines are, often illuminate the most stark issues, the contrasts in society and things like that. And sometimes it can seem more alarmist than necessary. So on my end, the mindset I'm going into this with, and with the journalists that I interact with, is to embrace what needs to be embraced, to pivot where they need to, like Dr. Taylor said, but importantly to be cognizant of the fact of the digital divide that exists in this country, where the majority of the electorate and the population still rely on these traditional media platforms for their news and information, and therefore we rely on these traditional media platforms to interpret some of these tech issues for them, to tell them what they mean and why they are important. So there is a process of rapid re-education of the media on reporting of these things, of science and technology, as it relates to how the population interacts with democratic issues.
Thank you very much, Rachel. Mugarura-Mutana. Okay, Evan, for you, 2021, you had a different, it was a different feeling for you as a journalist, and you still have scars to show for it. And here we are, because 2021, for at least 100 hours, we had no internet. So again, it was technology in the dark, switched off, and newsroom operations affected by that. In the end, some doubts were cast on the process of the election, especially the declaration of results. Here we are, and we're receiving threats again of closure.
Thank you. I stand to be among the youngest in this group. And I am really honored to be in this panel and also to interact with you all. What I can say is that when threats come, they are good because then they make you learn how to prepare for them. You may not be 100% prepared, but you know there's something coming. So whether they pour cold water on you or you step cold water and the body acts in a different way, at least you know there's something coming. So for me, I think because of the previous experiences that we've had, especially in the digital space, newsrooms and leaders, management especially, are planning and have worked to plan better. So you're not just training this journalist who's going to go to the field with a laptop, with a camera, and you're not just telling them how fast the story has to go on the digital space, but you're also telling them that should there be no internet, how do we engage? How do we continue and make the newsroom run? Because I will tell you, in 2021 I was in the field, so the newsroom did shut because there was no internet, Interestingly, Alan was also there. We went on SMS, we went on calling each other, we did everything possible to make sure that we have the newspaper out on the next day. We did everything possible to make sure that there was footage for TV to run content. Now going forward, because now we have some sort of technology also advancing and coming up, we should be thinking, if this happens again, how are we going to have footage in the newsroom without the driver going at next speed to hand over the recording to the producer? And if Irene has to SMS the editor the future, unfortunately, but something has got to be done. So I think there's a lot of preparation in that area. I am not privileged to reveal, but yes, newspapers and TV stations and radio are trying to sort of figure out that there is this threat. How do we plan and prepare? And for me again, what I had the other day, including telling us that we should forget about Facebook and then innovate other ways of communication, it just goes to the need for more investment in those areas. It doesn't have to be government investing sometimes. If you are in the business of news, you've got to figure out how your budgets will play around. If they don't play around, well, the day you close, it will also be a bad thing for the family. I think that's what I can say.
Thank you very much.